Hi guys. Well, I've been pretty busy on this old Buick since I left off. I removed the rear window, and right in here, we got a bunch of rust. I mean, that's the support structure right there, and it goes all the way from here to here. So, I went to town, got me some metal, and today, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna cut this all out, add new metal, put some rust converter on it, and then some rust barrier, and we'll smooth up this entire edge with some kitty hair. We'll just finish it up and put some kitty hair Bondo on it and smooth up the whole edge, and then we'll put a glazing finish over that and then paint it all in for good. I'm also going to put some kitty hair down in here, and on the back side too. I got my welding blanket over here, and we'll just see how far we can get on this deal. So I hope you'll enjoy it. Let's get started by cutting this old metal out. There's some spot welds down in here. I'm going to try to go to about right there and get that all situated. This is a 1/2 inch, that's a 3/4 inch. I had them bend the 3/4 inch. I will cut that 1/2 inch off. So let's get started. Okay, we got the bad segment trimmed out, most of the bad segment. And now I've got some rust converter on there, and it's already going to work. You see it turning black. Yeah. I had a cut right there, but that's easy enough to weld. And that way I could get it to cut up in there. Ground off all my spot welds. And now I'll go get the other metal, and we will try to get it to fit that shape. This is all very new to me. I also took the die grinder and right up here just cleared off some of this paint. That way it is easier to weld to. So, and I'll be doing that to this side and that side a little bit better too. So I'm gonna go get the other piece of metal and we'll get to town cutting it. I'm gonna measure how much we need. And this has a slight arch in it. And I'm hoping I can recreate that with the other metal. So, but I got a nice smooth finish here, pretty straight line that we can just go ahead and weld to, put a little bit of filler on it and call it good. Okay, we got this little piece made, and it does fit in there like that. But I still have this little section here, but that's where my curves start getting really aggressive. So I stopped right there, and that way we can get another piece in there to make that curve not so aggressive. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take and drill some small holes in here about every 2 inches and get that way I can spot it to this pretty easy. So I already put my rust converter on there, and I'll have to get some weld through primer later, but I probably won't do that because I don't got any here. So I'm gonna get some holes drilled in this. I just got done with that little area with the kitty hair and all that, and man, that looks really well. Right here, there's a little bit of a lip, but that rubber gasket's gonna cover there really well. I did some spot welds in there, and now I'll take some Bondo and do a little top coat on there. I gotta smooth this out just a little bit more, and it's going really well. Man, that is a bunch of work. That 30-second clip that y'all just watched took me every bit of 3 hours, and then some. I mean, I got a trip to town in this. It's a bunch of work to do this. So, like I said, we got that metal and just put it in there. It worked really well. I'm pretty happy about that. So, now I've already took the grinder and cleaned up this edge, or the flat disc, and cleaned up that edge. And so now I'll smooth this rest of the way out. And tonight I'm gonna try to get Bondo and get that Bondoed up from this edge. So we'll see how that works. Let's get that done, and then we might call it a night. Okay, I got this edge all nice and completed, and it looks really well. So, all I need now is to get the new window gasket, the new clips, because I'm going to put some clips on there for the trim molding, and it turned out really well. I'm pretty pleasantly surprised with that. I mean, that was a bunch of work, but we got her done. So, anyways, I got a little bit of other things to do today, but I want to try to get this brake booster kit installed. The brake booster's right there and master cylinder, so let's try to get that done here in a little bit, and hopefully we'll go from there and see what else we can get accomplished. So we'll be back here in a little bit. I think the Porsche is going away today, so I hate that, but it needs to go. So let's get this ready to be gone, go meet the guy, and we'll be back here in a little while. Okay, well, I'm gonna start ripping out these brakes out of this car, and We already got the rust repair fixed in the back window, but I need to rip out the brake system out of this car so we can put the brake booster in here and hopefully get the rest of the car, this side of the car, done. I mean, I've got a lot of paint spread over all this and it's looking really good. All I really have to do is just pull this out, pull the brakes out, then I'll be ready to throw the engine back in once I get the parts for it, and we'll get going. So let's start by getting the tools out. We'll rip out this air box. We'll rip out the old master cylinder. We'll have to do some work inside the car. We'll have to rip out the old brake pedal and mounting bracket for it. It's a little bit of work, but I think we can get her done. So let me get my tools out and we'll get started doing that. Okay, I got the carpet pulled back like that. Had to take this air box out up here. See if you guys can see up in there. Had to take that air box out in there. And I had to pull this carpet back because I got to pull this plate off. So, because the brake pedal is going to be moved from up there to over here. It's going to be moved right into there. So, we'll remove this brake pedal bracket, remove the master cylinder right there. But before I can do that, I have to go in here. And down in here is the master cylinder. I know it's hard to see on camera, but it's right there. And I got to take the lines off of it, and that way whenever I unbolt that, I can just pull it straight out. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to work on trying to get that master cylinder out, and after we get the master cylinder out and that plate pulled off, we can start going back with the new stuff and have a brake booster master cylinder set up in here instead of just a manual brake setup. That's the whole purpose of this. We want to get rid of the manual brakes. So let's keep going, and we'll pull that master cylinder out, put the whole new system in. Whew, that's a tight fit in there. And I also need to start pulling these seats sometime. So if I did that, my job might be a little bit easier. That rear window is gonna look good in there. But I need to find a new package tray. So anyways, I read what you guys said about the headliner, and I do believe you're right, but it's worth a shot trying to mess with it. So, I mean, it's still pretty pliable, and I mean, it's not tearing when you touch it. I don't know. It's worth a shot. I mean, we'll still keep it an option to replace it, but it's worth a shot. So, the worst part is at the back. And nail heads, I'm getting a lot of pushback about the stinking hardened seats. It is a... Nail heads do not use the hardened seats. There's a good chance it'll crack it. If you don't believe me, just go on nailheadbuick.com, read Matt's forums, and he'll explain it better than I ever could. So, the machine shop told me no hardened seats. Matt told me no hardened seats. I'm gonna go with what they say, and that's just what it's gonna be. So, let's get going and finish ripping the rest of the stuff out. Well, there we have it. The Old brake system is out. It's all mostly right there. A couple pieces right there. And all out right there. So I got all these new pieces. And they don't seem too hard to put on. This one will go right there. The new one will go inside. And they sent a bunch of instructions for me. So, anyways, that is just a chore to do, but it can be done. If you had the engine in here, it's going to be a little harder, but it can be done. So, let me figure out what to do next. I got to get some bolts. See, one fell way down in there. Whoop. Right there, one fell. So I got to get that one, and a couple fell into the carpet. But I think that's going to do it. I am just done for today. This has been quite the job. Between the back window and this, I think I've got enough for a video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your advice and comments, but don't get upset if I don't use it. There's lots of good advice out there. And so anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you, and we'll talk to you next time.